Oi, YouTube, stick here. Happy New Year and all that kind of stuff. I hope everyone had a good one. It's got to be better than mine. I spent most of the New Year sitting down in my coat in agony on my walking stick. Back went again. It's been absolutely crap. I've been living on God knows how many drugs, on the phone to A&E in the middle of the night. It's only literally today I've been able to get out and sort of potter about a bit with my walking stick and stuff. So that was all good. And then Christmas I had flu along with the rest of my family. So it's been quite a low-key festive time this year. Anyway, enough about me. Hope you all had a good time. Hope all your hangovers have recovered and gone by now. I just thought I'd do a quick little video showing you what I'm working on at the moment. As most of you know, I work with Chappers, part of Monkey Lord and all that kind of stuff. And a few videos ago, I think he mentioned that I'll be remastering his Red Dream EP for him. So he sent me the files, and I basically thought I'd show you how things are going so far. With you looking at the first track, Bleed the Light, which if any of you got the EP, we know quite well, I thought, and obviously Monkey Lord performed it as well. He sent me 44.1 AIFF files, and they're about 3 minutes 30 long. So if we look at the track, we can see at the beginning we've got a rather low volume intro section. I chose to have that a little bit louder in the mix. We've got the same thing going on here, but unfortunately due to fade outs and reverbs and stuff, if I tried to increase the level, that sounded a bit crap. So I've chosen to leave that as is, and obviously we've just got a general fade out at the end here. So let me play you a bit of the track. If you're not familiar with it, this is as released on iTunes at the moment. Now, I don't know how many of you know this, but given that Rob recorded this in his bedroom at home using GarageBand, and I think he used a 12-pound mic from Tandy that he blue tacked onto his guitar cab. He's no recording engineer, but fair play to him. It sounds pretty bloody badass, I think. So my job is really to make it sound even more badass and sort of give it a bit of a tart up. So, as I said earlier, you can hear those volume bits going on here and the fade, blah, blah, blah. So the first thing I looked at was an EQ. I used the Sonox Oxford EQ. I gave it quite a bit of air, just under 5. And I tried to pick out a bit more of the sort of kick drum, sort of pumping, ballsy frequency, which I think is around 55. Again, quite subtle boosts, nothing crazy. And I've also got rid of the muddy section, sort of under 20. Most of you guys know or should know by now that, especially when mixing, this sort of area here usually just takes up headroom within your mix. You don't hear it. It can just add that horrible sort of muddiness to a mix. So unless it's really a desired effect when you're in a club music on stuff, you're probably best off just sweeping that. But at the end of the day, use your own ears. So let's play you a bit of the mix with just the EQ. I'll cut this in and out so you can hear the difference. So you can hear that's added quite a bit of sparkle, a nice bit of air to the guitars and cymbals and stuff. And I think you've got a nice little bit more of punch going on. Again, not too over the top, it's not too in your face, it's subtleties. Next on the channel list, on the processing, was the Oxford Inflator. Let me close the EQ now. This is a wicked plugin. It can give you the impression of greater volume without adding distortion and stuff. Very nice plugin. And I'd recommend to anyone buying a bundle of plugins, the Sonox collection, excellent value for money if you buy them all together. If you buy them individually, a tad expensive. Out of all the plugins that I've got, I'd recommend these and the Wave CLA Signature Series. They're the two that I've been most impressed with out of everything I've got so far. So this is the inflator. Let me play you again with the mix engaged. And again, I'll cut this in and out. So it's a big difference. Really nice effect. Very simple to use. You basically got your input, your amount of in percentage of effect, your curve, which is how aggressive it kind of reacts, and your output level. I tend to use the soft clip engaged. I don't bother with the band split and stuff. Just leave it pretty much as is. Very nice plug-in to use, and you can hear it. It gives great effects, great results. So this is the track dry. Next I went about adding some reverb. For this I used my TC Electronics System 6000 VSS3 reverb. I dialed in the bright plate preset and then I tweaked until I was happy with it. So let's have a listen with this engaged. So again, subtle. It's not too OTT. The song's not washing around in reverb, and you know it's not taking over or distracting from the actual track in any way. It's giving it a nice bit of sort of lush vibe about it, I think. So that's the general mix. With the reverb, I use it on an aux or a bus send. I leave it set to 0, and I use the control via the bus send amount. Instead of having this flat and riding this. So that's the basic mix. The last bit in the process is obviously the mastering side of it, bringing it up to the commercial level. Now, obviously, there's a lot of hoo-ha about this, a lot of arguments about it. Unfortunately, modern music, if it's not at that sort of commercial loud volume, people perceive there's a problem with it, and it's not loud enough, it doesn't punch enough. So I've tried not to be too aggressive with it, but I've tried to meet that sort of modern loudness requirement. For this, I use my, again, TC Electronics Power Core System 6000, the MD3 mastering plugin. With this, I've gone through, I've just added a tad more airs, very little bit more. You can see around 5 again, and I've used a compressor, just dialed in some gain settings to sort of level out, bring a bit more mid out in the mix. So again, I'll switch this in and out, and you can make your own minds up. So again, really nice plugin. I mean, it's a pro standard plugin. It comes with a pretty chunky manual, hard work to understand and get to grips with. I'm just starting to get to grips with it, but just with the little bit I know, I think I'm getting really nice results with this. It's got a handful of presets, so if you grab this and you're not sure where to begin with, there's some great presets in there. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I leave the in-out options, 0 headroom. I don't bother putting dither on this because I put the dither on the limiter at the end, which we will come to now. So the last plugin that I use is the Oxford limiter. Again, part of the Sonox package. This is really slamming the mix quite hard, bringing it up to that flat, really in your face vibe. Now, personally, I felt with this track, and speaking to Rob and some other people, they felt they wanted it in your face, really, you know, sort of kick you in the nuts kind of mix. So hopefully I've achieved it with this. So let me play you the whole thing with the limiter engaged. Switch them all off now. And that's back to the original mix. So you can hear, with a simple bit of processing, a little bit of patience and tweaking, I think I've got Bleed sounding pretty badass. So on to the next track. It's not 100% finished. I just run through the whole selection of tracks. I've done drafts, masters of each, and then I go back with fresh ears next day, tweak a bit more, make sure I'm happy with it all, and then obviously you've got to make sure it all flows together correctly as an album. So hope you found that all interesting. Like I say, sorry if I'm a bit flat and a bit bored. I'm going to go and lay down now, pop a load more pills, and watch the ceiling go round and round. Hope you all had a good Christmas again, and I'll do another video for the next track, which I think is... I can't remember if it's Brothers. Anyway, don't really matter. So catch you all later. Don't forget, if you haven't subscribed, subscribe. Much appreciated. And yeah, please feel free to post any comments and questions below. All right, dudes. Latest. Bye.